Good morning, teacher and classmates. We are the group 4, and today we are going to discuss the topic is research on teaching, learning, assessment, alignment of theory, course of college physical education major and OBE concept. Case beside analysis. On 25 October 2021, the State General Administration of Sports officially released the 40th 5-year plan for sports development, which depicts the visionary goal of building a strong sports nation by 2035 and also emphasize the cultivation of sports talents. The Health China 2030 outline states that the sports industry should increase the training of sports and health talents to meet people's health needs. The OBE concept, which organisms implements and evaluates education on the basis of expected learning outputs, has been widely used in educational accreditation with remarkable results, providing a new perspective for curriculum construction and evaluation. Implementing the OBE concept in classroom teaching through the implementation of consistency of teaching, learning, and assessment will help students to achieve the training objectives in the program and ensure the quality of personal training. Also, the OBE concept has been widely implemented in many colleges and universities. There are still a lot of problems in the actual operation, which lead to the failure of the objectives of teaching, learning, and assessment of the curriculum, thus affecting the quality of talent cultivation. Biggers and Tom pointed out that some teachers did not have a deep enough understanding of the OBE concept and were overly concerned with the transfer of knowledge and neglected the achievement of learning outcomes, which resulted in the failure to achieve consistency in the teaching, learning, and assessment process and affected the effective implementation of the concept. Harden also emphasized the importance of providing sufficient teaching resources, assessment tools, and systematic support in the process of implementing the OBE concept. For example, classroom activities, case studies, and situational simulations require a high level of facilities and materials, but some universities do not have sufficient resources for physical education programs.
Okay, I'm going to talk about justification in research topic, which means that under the OBE framework, consistency of teaching line and assignment is the core of curriculum design and must be related to teaching and line activities. Teachers teaching students line and assessment of line outcomes need to be hard matched to ensure that teaching line assignment is eligible, which is inevitable development equations of the OBE concept. In physical education, the engagement of teaching line and assignment issues that teaching and line activities and assignments are aligned with the expected competencies of students. so that they can acquire professional skills that meet their actual needs. Wang Qiang and Li Liang has pointed out in their study that promoting the integration of teaching, learning, and assignment can help deepen curriculum reforms and important teaching goals. Get teachers to shift from focus on test scores to the learning processes. Focus on teaching content and learning masters and ensure that goals are reached by continuously observing and evaluating students' learning effectiveness. Okay, moving on, next slide, deficiencies. I have to see research topic about deficiencies, which mean that although many studies have focused on the concept of OBE, most of them remain at a stage of curriculum design with less attention paid to particular implementation issues such as the inconsistency of teaching, learning, and assignment, which leads to difficulties in the effective implementation of teaching and learning objectives, and a disconnect between assignment and teaching is affecting the achievement of learning outcomes. Many HERS face many challenges in promoting TLA engagement, such as deficiencies in teachers' understanding of OBE, mismatches between teacher objectives and actual content, and assignment systems that do not effectively reflect students' competencies. In addition, teachers are best off in favor of knowledge transfer, neglecting consistency with assignment criteria, and are constrained by resource and team, and are slow to improve their teaching activities and assignments. In terms of curriculum designs, the objectives and students' needs vary greatly from program to program, and the rather exacting teaching resource and assignments models fixed. Reform requires significant teams and financial support. Therefore, although the OBE concept has become the question of reform, the implementation processes still face numerous challenges. Alright, so moving on, next slide, audience. I would say research topic about audience that physical education measures in higher education institutions improve the quality of physical education programs, so improve the curriculums, design and teaching status, enhance educational reputation, and comply with industry standards teachers, enhance student engagement and accurately assess their abilities, the research to optimize teaching methods, assignments, and grow engagement students. Enhance theoretical knowledge and practical skills through teaching and learning in the context of OBE concepts and prepare them of their future careers.
4.2 Research objectives and research questions. Our first research objective is to explore what is the degrees of consistencies of teachings, learnings, and assessments in the design of various courses for physical education majors, and the research questions is what is the degrees of consistencies of teachings, learnings, and assessments in the design of various course for physical education majors. And the secondary research objective is to explore what is the degrees of consistencies of teachings, learnings, and assessments in the teaching process of various courses of physical education majors. And the research questions is what is the degrees of consistencies of teachings, learnings, and assessments in the teaching process of various courses of physical education majors. And the last research objectives is to explore what factors influence the consistencies of teachings, learnings, and assessments in the process of teaching various courses in physical education programs. The research questions is what factors influence the consistency of teachings, learnings, and assessments in the process of teaching various courses in physical education program. 4.3 qualitative research design. We are going to use the case studies, and we chose the physical education majors of the H universities. Why we are chose the universities? There are two reasons. The first is H universities is a comprehensive normal universities jointly built by the province and the ministries of education, which has an important influence on education research and talent cultivations in South China, especially in the fields of education and physical education. The second reason is in order to improve the qualities of talent cultivations for physical education majors, H universities introduce OBE's concepts into the design of the majors and the curriculum system to ensure that students graduate with vocational abilities and social adaptabilities, which meets the needs of the education and physical education market. This is our research flow chart. We are going to use the documentation methods, questionnaires, interview to study the accurate ones. Next, we will use documentations, observations, interviews to answer the accurate too. And finally, we are going to interview the teachers, students, instructional administrator to answer the accuracy. 4.4 data collection methods. Our primary data collection methods is interviews. A semi-structured interviews outlines was used with course directors, instructors, students, and instructional administrators. The mainly to understand how to reflect the consistencies of teachings, learnings, and assessments at the levels of curriculum design. For example, the relevance of the teaching's objectives, teaching's activities, and assessments methods. Secondly, to understand how the teacher reflects the consistencies of teachings, learnings, and assessments in the actual teaching process. For example, whether the custom activities are consistent with the teaching's objectives, and whether the assessment is timely and in line with the requirements of the objectives. Finally, to explore the factors affecting the consistencies of teachings, learnings, and assessments, such as teachers' understanding, students' engagement, curriculums, research, and so on.
I will introduce 4.4 data collection methods and 4.5 data analysis method. Firstly, I will introduce 4.4 observation method. A non-participatory structured what observation was used to observe two courses: physiology of exercise and school physical education. The main observation of the teaching and learning process. 1. instructional design, including clarity of instructional objectives, alignment of content with objectives, and applicability of instructional methods. 2. Learning process, student engagement, motivation and interest in learning, active learning behaviors. 3. Evaluation methods, diversity of evaluation methods, consistency between evaluation and teaching objectives, timeliness and effectiveness of feedback. Next, document analyze. 1. Collect and analyze the physical education professional talent cultivation program of school age. Compare and analyze with the national undergraduate curriculum program of physical education in ordinary colleges and universities, issued by the Ministry of Education, and the social demand for the questionnaire survey, and mainly analyze whether the setting of the outcome goals is reasonable, and whether the course curriculum and the evaluation method follow the concept of OBE. 2. Documents such as syllabi in instructors' teaching documents and students' feedback, and courses evaluations of the physical education program. Physiology of exercise and school physical education courses that were collected and analyzed for age. Study were analyzed for consistency of their instructional objectives, student learning activities, and evaluation objectives. Now I will introduce 4.5 data analysis methods. Thematical analysis. The textual information collected was thematically analyzed. Important information was flagged and open-coded to extract relevant information about the coherence of the core objectives, content and assessment criteria. Subsequently, the themes were categorized and summarized to 4 core themes, which were validated and reviewed to ensure that all content was covered. Finally, specific content under each theme was organized to demonstrate actually manifestation of coherence or incoherence. Next, content analysis method. The collected interviews were edited to test. The test was analyzed. A coding system was established. The content affecting the consistency of teaching, learning, and assessment were marked out. All the documents were were read paragraph by paragraph, and the test was categorized according to the corresponding coding categories. And finally, the frequency was of each coding category in different documents was counted, and the distribution was of each term was analyzed for quantitative analysis. Finally, the frequency of occurrence of each encode category in different documents was counted, and the distribution was of each term was analyzed for quantitative analysis.